Live podcast. So tonight's gonna be a little different. Solo tonight, and there's some reasons for that. We got the little sick bug running through the crew. Ladies on the men. I wasn't gonna come in, but we had to at least talk about this give to the max. There's only one day left, folks. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about the Gratitude Cafe, which has been switched to Saturday nights. We're gonna talk about the dances that are coming back. We're also gonna talk about all sorts of stuff. So I'm hoping everyone had a great Thanksgiving yesterday and got to spend some time with family, or you made it out to one of the many of different clubs that were celebrating Thanksgiving. Um, I'm under the weather a little bit too. Like I woke up this morning just not feeling it, and then my throat's all kitty wampus, so I'm drinking a bunch of water, not smoking them icky cigarettes as best I can. As best I can is the key part. So, as always, we talk about you don't need to be alone. If you're struggling, just please reach out. There's multiple different avenues that we talk about every week on the show. Um, just fight for yourself. You're worth it. If you have been told you're loved, let me be the first to tell you today that you are loved. Uh, we've got the guests that I pushed. They'll be back probably in the middle of next month. I'm trying to adjust some things so Rick and Jesse will end off this month. Next week we're gonna have Benton and Tony on, and these guys are some people with some long-term recovery in their life, and I also work with one of the guys. The matter of fact, the job I have, it's through recovery for the most part, but like it's a blessing, and it's only because of recovery. So I'm seeing that we're having some issues with looks like our internet. I don't know. It's just who knows what's going on. I'm a little lolly days old right now, but we'll power through it. So, the Alamo Society Minneapolis, the return of the monthly dances. Saturday, December 3rd will be the first one coming back. 9 p.m. to 12 midnight, or usually around 12. So just come check it out. Come be part of the shindig. Get your groove on. Or if you know anyone who's looking for some sober, clean fun, tell them about it. It's a good spot to make some connections. Not the type of connections we once made, but some new connections, some good, healthy, fun connections. And it's networking, it's fellowship. It's what I was taught to do in earlier recovery because I just shit when your life my life had only been partying. So all I knew how to do was figure out where the next party was. And linking up, like bumping heads with all sorts of people in recovery was the way I figured out how to do some fun activities without it revolving around the old way of life. So the dances are a great opportunity to experience some of that. If meetings just aren't your thing or whatever the case is, like check that out. I mean, you can come there anonymous as you want and just come figure it out. Make some connections. Like I say, like that's what this thing's about. I used to always share, like, I see my recovery as two parts, and like the majority of it was the fellowship side of it. Because if I came into these rooms and it was just not fun, I don't know if I'd have stuck around. So I think it's real important to get that message out there that we have fun. Like I, I'm always having fun, and through recovery, like my life has gotten a lot better, and it's because of fellowshipping and getting to meet new people, things of that nature. Powering through when you don't want to do something, showing up to meetings when you're not in the mood, whatever the case is. So come check out the monthly dances. That's it, and it's another way to support this club. This is 2218. That's where we're having this podcast from. 2218 is a place to never close their doors. I'm going to read something in a little bit here. It was a letter that's being submitted on behalf of trying to get some funds and grants, and it was a pretty moving letter. So I want to read that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Give to the Max. But first, we're going to talk about the Gratitude Cafe. So this will be the first week that we moved it from Friday over to Saturday. Jane's Cafe, the Gratitude Cafe. I'm not sure if we have like a technical name for it yet, but I think tomorrow night we're doing some homemade ham and cheese Sammy's, potato salad, baked beans, cake and or pie, and cookies, water and or coffee. Like it's just a good old hearty meal, and it's really inexpensive, like $5 or $6. Um, Come on down and like get a bite to eat tomorrow. Check it out. It's open to the public, and it's all is welcome. So that's a good thing, and come check it out. If you have questions about anything I talk about, post them on here. I'll try to get my number. Like I said, I'm a little out of it. Not feeling the best, but hey, that's what we do. So let me get my number up here. And thank you for your patience tonight as I am figuring it out. Elena would be here, but I told her not to come in. The reason for that is I know that she was just getting over being sick, and I think her daughter's heading out of town or something to that effect. And I said, just spend some time with her, and basically, it's okay because this isn't going to be a 2-hour show. I told the guests not to show up tonight, and it's okay. We can do that sometimes. I'm not sure what the plans are moving forward, but I do know like we're going to be ending out this year strong. We've got some pretty big guests coming in here. It's going to be a blast. So check it out. And like I say every week, like share this with anyone that you can think of that we're looking for something to do on a Friday night. Like that's one, I don't know. You can always re-listen to the shows the following days. Like a true podcast is not where it's live, like a live feed. And from what I spoke with a few, I don't know, engineers or people who are able to explain it better to me and said like podcasts are not live usually. It's something that you pre-record and then you can make sure like audio is good or what have you. So let's see here. I'm not sure if people are hearing me. Oh yeah, they are. So what I was going to say basically is that if you have ideas for the show, share them. Let me know about it. If you want to see it go in a specific direction, let me know about it. If there's some guests that you guys would like to hear on the show, or if you'd like to be on the show, reach out to me. I put my number on there. You can personally message me. But let me know. Like, this is not my podcast. Like, for a while, my ego was making sure everyone knew that I had a podcast. This is my podcast. This is not my podcast. I don't have a podcast. This is the Recovery Communities podcast. I'm not been the sole host. It's just the Recovery Communities podcast talking about some recovery. It's not monetized. No one makes money off this. It's me sitting in front of a couple microphones BSing with guests every week and me just digging into like this new way of living. I'm interested in it. And if anyone can get something out of that, that's pretty cool. It's just a benefit in my mind, but it's really a good thing. So if there's anyone that you think could benefit from hearing about this type of stuff, have them listen. But share this. If you're able to share this feed or like it, subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. Honestly, I'm getting more feedback that the YouTube feed is a little bit better than the Facebook one, which I don't know. I have a podcast, and you would think I would understand how that stuff works, but I'm just in the dark and all of this technology. I was hoping the other week when we had Kenzie and Kyle in here, they're young, so I was banking on them coming in here and saying like, "Oh no, Tim, just hit that button and it'll sound better." But it didn't happen like that. So, Give to the Max. There's only one day left, people. If you're not sure what Give to the Max is, it's a kind of a fundraiser situation. I'm going to read the memo that was sent out about it. This is a campaign. It's very important, not only for the donations that you all help us secure for the grants for the grants and the matching donations. 2218 becomes eligible for, with every donation that we get, our name gets put into a bucket, I guess is a good way of saying it. So it doesn't matter the amount, it matters the amount of times that you donate. So I think you can make a donation as low as $5, but every time that we get a donation on behalf of 2218, our name goes into the bucket, and then every hour they will pull one of the names out of one of these nonprofits like 2218, and every hour on the hour they give out $1,000. And then the grand prize, like they do one, and that's a $10,000 prize, and like we're really banking on hopefully, winning that. While we're doing the show, I'm going to try to type the link up here. It's www.givemn.org/story/sobrietymn. I'll try to get it up there, but I did pull it up on my phone, and I'm going to kind of tell you guys where we're at right now. It's not, we had Emily on this show, Emily M, and she's our social media director at 2218. She kind of filled me and Elena in on what is kind of happening with this, and she was very thorough about explaining it to an idiot like myself. And it's unfortunate where we're at right now with the donations, but it's what it is. I mean, it's understandable where we're at. It's a little sad because we were like 10 times this amount a couple years back, but there's one day left. The goal, I get it. Places put a pretty high number on the goal, what they're trying to get to, and it looks like 2218 is hoping to get around $20,000 worth of donations. We're at $524. 8 people have donated, and there's one day left. So if you're able to, please hop on and donate. Like I said, if you want to give $10, give 2 $5 donations. That throws their name in the bucket twice. So I'm going to read what they have on the website for the donation page. It's hope. Like, this is titled Hope. When the many people walk through our doors for the first time, they feel like they have lost all hope. The Minneapolis Society of Minneapolis, or the Alano Society of Minneapolis, finally known as 2218, help rebuild it. Like, that's what this is about. It's addicts and alcoholics and affected family members have been finding a way. I'm not even going to read this. What I'm going to explain is, like, this club needs your help. Come on down, become a member. Come on down, volunteer. But right now, if you're able to hop on and donate, please hop on and donate. Like I said, as little as $5, it could turn into a $10,000 donation. I'm going to read a letter that we received, and it'll kind of talk about how we're able to do this in recovery, is help out places that have helped us out. And it's worded well to a point of understanding what that meant. We're the world's longest running continuing AA club. Like, that's a huge feat. And it's not like they're talking about closing the doors, but after looking at the finances and the numbers, like, expenses have nearly tripled in the past 5 years. The gas bill alone on a monthly budget is at about $1,300 every month. That's like the gas bill alone. The electric bill is about $1,000. Insurance is about $1,000. The expenses of the club come out to be about 10 grand a month. We used to have hundreds of members. Like, those in room rent is what pays for it. Like, if last I heard, we're under 100 members. The club's struggling, and I'm not going to spend all show just like on a money talk situation, but Give to the Max is one of the biggest events that this club does for fundraising, alongside the Ride for Recovery and the birthday party that we have here. So it's a big deal. We need your help, and this is to help continue this legacy. 2218, if you're in the recovery community, you've heard about it. If you're listening to the show, then you've heard about 2218. It's one of these places I heard about before I got into recovery. Excuse me. Pardon me on that. I don't have a cough button, or I probably do, but I haven't been shown how to use it yet because I'm a dork. And I'm joking. I don't really think I'm a dork. Or earlier I called myself an idiot. I don't really think that. So, 2218, Give to the Max. Again, it's www.give mn.org/story/sobriety mn. If you go to www.givemn.org, you can go to the search bar and hit 2218 Alano, and it'll help you find it. That's how I found it, just because I probably didn't type it in properly. Like I said, I'm going to try to do it while I talk, which could get interesting. So it's www.givemn.org/ excuse me. I'm also like, if you're just hopping on, I'm kind of sick. So /story/sobriety mn. Mn. And that's it. Boom. All right. So I put it on there. Hope I didn't misspell it. I'm not the best at it. Oh boy. No, I think I got it. Okay. Fumbling around here. So we've got the dances coming up, and we've got Give to the Max. If you are able, please do Give to the Max. And again, if you, like I say, if you find that link, you don't have to give thousands of dollars. I mean, it'd be great if you did, but give a couple $5 donations. It's not the amount of the dollar, it's the amount of the donations. And I think as low as you can go is $5. So that's awesome. Again, I'm going to talk about the guests that we have coming up. We got, of course, Rick and Jesse, our recurring guests. We've got, I think Alicia and Elena are going to be the guests on the show before the end of the year. Benton and Tony are coming up. I believe I got a couple more guys from the men's meeting, but that's the other side of this. If anyone out there has ideas for guests, let me know. There's no one that we've ever been like, nope, you can't come on the show. We're up for anyone to come on the show, and we welcome anyone or any ideas for the show. So again, share the show, talk about it, rant and rave, talk shit about whoever. Me, typically, don't do that about no one else. I'm wackadoodle right now. I'm sweating and coughing, and that's why I didn't have our guests come in, is I didn't want to get anyone sick tonight. But I did say I'd come in here and talk about Give to the Max. I would talk about our dinners being moved from Friday night to Saturday night. I used to go to multiple Alano clubs, and the majority of all of them had some type of $5 or $6 dinner night. And I know a lot of them are starting to come back, but tons of them just aren't doing it anymore. Ever since COVID, places just stopped doing it for safety reasons or for the attendance not getting back up there, not being able to afford to do it. We have a full commercial style kitchen here, and Jane is a beast. She is always cooking some type of homemade hearty dinner and food. And like I said, it's switched to Saturday night, so come on up here. I think 6:30 she starts serving, and it's always good. Her homemade, just everything. I can keep going and going. Like I said, I just wanted to thank Vic on air and also Jane, everyone else who helped out yesterday. My understanding was it was a great turnout. I got a big old batch of greens that Vic saved for me because I wasn't able to make it down here, and I'm looking forward to going to eat those. That's part of this thing, like getting those type of benefits. It's awesome. So 2218, I don't know if it's grant money or if it's funding or what the case is. I do want to get Bobby on the show here eventually. He's one of the long-timers in recovery who's been a part of this club for, I don't know, multiple years. Bobby, that's what his name is. I rode motorbikes with him. He comes to one of the men's meetings that happens here on Friday nights, and he's very involved. I'm not sure what his position is, but he's kind of a pillar in this recovery community, and he was talking to me about some of these, I don't know if it's grants or they're trying to, the club's hurting and they're trying to find funds wherever they can get it. So the reason I'm telling you about this is that there were certain people asked to write write a letter on behalf of 2218 and what it's done for them, especially during COVID or having this. There was a Narcotics Anonymous meeting that started every single day. There was the option to come to this club for multiple meetings, a noon meeting every day, an AA noon meeting, a 6:30 NA meeting every day. There's just multiple options for meetings happening here forever. Like, they never close their doors here, and that's huge. And some people were asked to write about that, and I was sent a couple of these letters, and I want to read one of them. I think it's pretty important for people to hear this. I know that everyone's story is different. Everyone sees their recovery differently. Everyone's hopefully doing it for a reason of just a better life or whatever the case. If it's legal, if it's for family or friends, health reasons, legal, whatever it is. For me, it had to be for me. And whatever the case is, we all have our own story. So this is titled, Please Help Keep the Doors Open. There are things about this club 2218 that my words would never magnify to a point I would like them to. And with that said, a very simple, straightforward, and to the point statement is that I could say, this place is the reason I'm alive today. If these doors would have been closed during COVID and I was not able to make it to the next Narcotics Anonymous meeting in person, I fear that I would either be dead, in jail, or back in an institution. There's so many different reasons I praise this club, but having a place for the next addict to walk through the doors, as I was one of those addicts, as I am one of those addicts, kept us all alive. This club means more to me as it has helped me become the adult I want to be, the son to a mother as she deserves and as I want to be able to be for her, as well as someone to be relied on the way I could only hope to rely on someone else. People talk about specific moments in their life that they can trace back to and know that those are the moments that made a difference in and for everything, because I can say that without this place being here, I wouldn't be here. It's almost as simple as that. Without 2218, I'd be dead. It's somewhat dark to take it to that place, but reality can be dark sometimes, especially when talking about addiction. But the brightest sunlight that comes from that darkness is the results of clubs like this club, 2218, and what it does for the recovery community, and what it has done. This recovery community, the 2218 recovery community. I've been taught things that have saved my life, as well as afforded me new ideals on helping others to save theirs. Because of 2218 and the doors never shutting throughout the pandemic, we have been able to save thousands upon thousands of addicts throughout the past few years, just for today. With the connections that have been made at the doors remaining open through 2218, multiple things have occurred. There was things that happened bigger than themselves. There was podcasts formed out of, they talked about the podcast. Maybe I'm a little biased. I'm reading this because of that. There are podcasts that came about throughout the closure, or throughout the doors never being closed here at 2218. There's meetings that occurred and have occurred and started in light of the doors never shutting at 2218, with all the other clubs being closed and nowhere for an addict to go get some in-person recovery. That's Phoenix NA, 6:30 every night of the week. And now there's multiple other Narcotics Anonymous meetings happening. I threw that in there. As the times change and the properties around the Alano Club have been purchased by many different treatment facilities, tons of newcomers arrive weekly here at the club, and a strong majority of them are in treatment centers. This is a good thing. But what comes with that is that their finances are very tight, if there's any. The reason that both of these subjects have been brought up in this letter is because of the simple fact that things like the podcast or Everyday NA, it's giving an outlet to talk about the struggles with finances here at the club, and to shed light for the newcomer about the struggles and the responsibilities that come with keeping doors open at clubs like this. The thing is this: there's a direct cause and effect to helping out a newcomer and showing them the way to this new way of living. They will see it through their predecessors that are going to this club and turning their lives around and becoming responsible to a point of being able to be one of those people. that are able to help out financially or help hold up this club in multiple different ways through volunteering or just showing up. This is a direct cause and effect. But if these doors don't stay open, that can't happen. The recovery community that's part of 2218 does keep fighting hard. Unfortunately, we're coming up short with finances due to the multiple reasons of economic issues, memberships, upkeep, and bills, and that we are a club that has turned into one of those of abundance of newcomers utilizing this club. So we're glad about that. We enjoy being a club that can be here for a newcomer. And we're doing our best to explain the workings in and outs of keeping these doors open. The valiant efforts, I like this paragraph. The valiant efforts of the Board of Trustees, volunteers, and recovery community that attend is not to go unnoticed or unmentioned, as they are the sole reason for the distance that this club has came. This club has made it throughout this past 20 years, and one thing that I've been taught through recovery is not to live in fear. So with that said, it's painstakingly hard when bringing up the issue of keeping these doors open. I had this fear that I might show up one day and these doors might not be open for myself, or for the next newcomer to walk up here with the hope that they could find a meeting. That's the last hope sometimes that these people in our situations might have, knowing that they can walk through these doors and find a solution that's been offered here for the past 80 years now. So if there's any help that could come from another avenue, I would like to be the first to ask, fill out, or learn about it. Today, I'm very grateful that I have been part of the growth of 2218, as well as the gifts it has afforded me. I go back to the beginning of this letter and revisit the simple fact that I would not be someone who could be counted on, nor be a productive member of society, and that's solely because of the rooms of 2218s. Blessings do come in many different forms, and I'm just fortunate to be part of one of them, to be part of any of them that come our way. Thank you for taking the time to read these words I've written and take the time to consider 2218 for any future funding, grants, programs, or help, as it is greatly needed in these times. Because the direct result of keeping these doors open is as simple as life-saving, healthier futures. That was a letter, anonymous letter. But I think like things like that, I believe there was quite a few different letters submitted. I know that one of our guests, I think Kenzie, she wrote a letter, and I don't know where they go from there. I know that it's a pretty big deal that this club is here. It was a big deal for my recovery. This club has helped save me. I've met so many different people, and so many different doors have opened in my life because of this club. Maybe that's what this podcast tonight turned into, is me kind of talking about what this club is to me. It gave me some type of sense of responsibility with different meetings. I got different positions. I was part of the earlier years of that Narcotics Anonymous meeting starting. I took on some responsibilities for a couple years with that meeting, and it's still going strong. It's not 7 days a week right now, because other Narcotics Anonymous meetings have come in and took a couple of those nights. But the key thing here is that there is a Narcotics Anonymous meeting every single night of the week here at 2218, as well as multiple Alcoholics Anonymous meetings here every day of the week at this club, and young people's meetings. And I'm not sure about Al-Anon. I don't want to say it if it's not a fact. I don't have a meeting list, but there's tons of opportunities here at this club. I brought my mom here for like the Ride for Recovery, and we did the podcast from the Ride for Recovery here, I think last year. The goal was to do it the year before, but we ended up doing it at the 2218's booth at Gopher State. That was a blast. It's just, if there's any ideas above and beyond what we've been talking about for this club, get in touch with myself or come on up here and speak with someone from the board and give them some ideas. We're always open to other methods. It's always a good thing. Like having places like this for the next alcoholic or addict to come show up and find some recovery, it's a blessing. I think I'm running out of gas. It's night. Let's see here. My wife asked me to pick up 6 cans of Sprite from the store, and when I got home, I realized I picked 7 up. I'm a dork. All right. Well, I think I'm over it. I'm surprised I even came in tonight. I do appreciate everyone who kind of hopped on and who listens to this in the future. It's a short show, but it's for my recovery. I need this. This is my meeting for my Friday night meeting. That's what this podcast is for me. So I do what I can to come in here no matter what. I knew it was going to be an early ending show, and I just wanted to make sure to get on here and talk about the dances are starting back up. The Gratitude Cafe is popping up tomorrow on Saturdays. What else here? We've got tomorrow night's ham and cheese Sammy's, potato salad, baked beans, cake, pie, cookies, water, coffee, all that good stuff. Come on down tomorrow night and get your fill. Dances starting on December 3rd, 9 p.m. Come on down. $5 at the door. We got Give to the Max. That's www.givemn.org/story/sobrietymn. I put it up there. It's not a hyperlink, but check it out. Please go donate if you're able to. Other than that, have a great week. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. I got to check out and go get some sleep tonight. If no one's told you tonight, man, you're loved. Like, fight for yourself. You are worth it. Your recovery is worth it. Be happy. Who wants to sit and be pissed off and angry? Like, that's what recovery is giving me. Like, I can figure out ways not to sit and mope and be all boo-hoo, poor me. And that's a big thing about this recovery life. I realize, like, the world doesn't revolve around me. The longer I stuck around in these rooms and shared, near the beginning, I thought my story was so unique. I thought I was so special. I was pretty sure that no one did it like I did it. Like, no one got high like I got high. No one got drunk like I got drunk. Like, you don't get it. Like, I really, truly thought I was that special. I thought my story was that much more important than your story. I thought my life was that much more important than your life. That's this delusion I had. And then the second I realized none of that shit was true, I started getting happy. I found some real joy. That's what I wish I could give to people who are just ornery and pissed off and can't find happiness, and they're still out there using, or they're dry drunks, or they just stopped using drugs, but still shitty and pissed off. Like, there's a solution for all that. You don't have to be pissed off. You don't have to be angry, and you don't have to be all morbid and depressed. And I'm going off on a tangent here because I'm passionate about it. Like, on some real talk, work on yourself. I know that shit might be easier said than done, but go work on yourself and check out a meeting. Go, if you're worried about people seeing you, go far away. Minnesota's got thousands upon thousands of meetings. If you're worried about seeing a familiar face, then go up to Cambridge or go down to Winona. We'll Work for Recovery just opened a center way down south. Like, if that's a reason holding you back from your happiness, you don't really want to be happy. Like, there's some like hard lines in the sand I'll draw, and when it comes to this, like, I've been here long enough to see it. Like, people find their happiness in these rooms. So when I see someone who's struggling with addiction or alcoholism, yeah, that sucks. But just putting the plug in the jug or setting the dope down don't mean shit if you don't work on yourself. That's a great start. Like, for quite a few years, that's all I could tell myself was just don't use today. Like, just don't use today. That's it. I had some really great people tell me that for a while. I had someone on the show, a guy named Sam who was on this show, like, and CJ. He was the first one who put his hand on my shoulder and just looked at me and said, "Tim, you just don't have to use no more." Like, I knew I didn't have to use, but it was the first time someone told me, like, you don't have to. And yeah, it busted me all up because of course you're gonna feel your emotions when you get into recovery or when you start clearing up your head. But, like, a promise I get to make to people is if you come in here and thoroughly work some type of program, you're going to get a solution, and happiness is going to follow. So there's going to be some joy in your life. You're not going to be pissed off. You're not going to be upset at the world, and you're going to find some happiness. Like, that's a promise. That's a promise. Like, if we're painstaking about these, you know what? I'm really going down off on a tangent. I appreciate everyone who checked in. If you got questions or concerns, or you got ideas or suggestions, if you want to see this show go a specific way, if you want to hear some specific guests, let me know. Reach out to me. Shoot me a text. You don't even need to tell me who you are. Send me a message. This show is your show. Make this your show. This ain't my show. This is a recovery community show. Everything in my life is good today because of recovery. And I challenge you. Anyone listening, you hop on, you hear this on a Saturday, you hear this Sunday. I challenge you to go work on yourself. I challenge you to go try something different. Challenge you to get outside yourself and go do something else. Be okay with not being okay. Get comfortable with not being comfortable. Check out some meetings. Go make some friends that are in recovery, that look happy, that are working a program. Like, these promises come true for people that put some effort into it. Like, you're not just I came in here thinking that there's gonna be some quick fix, like I did every day while in my use. I take this hit, I get a direct result. I take this shot, I get a direct result. I take this bop, 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 I get a bop, 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 boo. That's how this thing works. Like, there's a direct result of the work you put in here. So with that, man, I love you. If you haven't been told that today, let me tell you, I love you. Mental health is real. If you need to see a doc, go check out a doc. If you don't got insurance, go down to social services and fill out some forms. Like, fight for yourself. You're fucking worth it, and you deserve your happiness. So fight for yourself. I love you. I'll talk to you guys next week.